Card from Backstreet Boys.
Shout out to Boy Band Break.
It's Chris Kirkpatrick here. Shout out to your podcast, Boy Band Break.
Everybody, this is Howie D, and I'm listening to Boy Band Break.
Hi, Ashley Parker Angel here. Huge shout out to the Boy Band Break podcast.
This is Brad from LFO, and you are listening to Boy Band Break.
Hey, what's up? This is Jacob.
It's Dan.
What's up? It's Trevor.
And it's Eric Michael, and it's time for Boy Band Break, baby. Let's go! Bam, 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 bam.
Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Cinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
Welcome back.
What up?
Hi, everybody.
Happy October.
Woo!
Woo! The start of spooky season.
This is not going to be spooky.
No, yeah, sorry.
I feel like September was spooky enough, so whatever.
That's true.
Goodbye, September. Glad to see you go.
Goodbye.
But you know what? I feel that before we say goodbye to September, we can remember there was a good shining moment at the beginning of it.
There was a positive.
Would it be on September 9th?
Yes, that was my birthday, guys. So,
and then September 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that as well. That's kind of
this is what we're going to talk about today.
That is what the plan, Stan, is. So, so I have turned 40 years old. So it was a moment trying to figure out what to do with the big 4-0. These three effers still have 3 more years before they get there.
Woo-hoo!
So the youngins on the podcast here.
37, so young, yeah.
So yes, you got 3 years to plan. Hopefully you have a better planning option than I do, because I could not make a decision on what I wanted to do. It was very stressful. And you know what? It would have been less stressful if O-Town hadn't decided to come in the area.
Can I just make a quick comment that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but what has to do with what we were talking about before we started recording?
Yes.
That everyone at my new job thinks I just got hired. And then I was like, how old do you guys think I am? And they're like, oh, I don't know, like 27. And I was like, that's right.
Yes,
good.
I am.
You're like, yeah,
just so you know.
My
don't
40-year-old
27, but yeah, totally. Just got hired. I just left university. Yeah.
I know.
God, oh my God, how do I do this? How do I teach?
That's so fetch.
Lab's fiance didn't think I was 40 either. So
yeah,
there you go.
A new coworker of mine also thought I was only 25, so I'll take it. Hey,
and you know what?
And at my last shooting I did, film.
Not shooting like a shooting gun.
Yeah, no, I was in a comedy sketch. I'm an actor now, guys. I'm an actor. Professional actor, finally. But my last shoot, they're just like, oh my God, you look like around, like, they didn't say anywhere near 30s, like 20-ish. And I was like, thank you.
That's good.
You know what I think it really helps with all of us guys? Boy bands. They keep us young.
Yes,
boy bands keep us young.
Circling back.
When people think that, they're like, oh, you're into boy bands, they think that we are young teenage children.
Way to get us back to the circle.
We're gorgeous and
it's true.
And
it's
so
true.
are you guys.
And boy bands rejuvenate you.
They do. They bring life back into you.
It's like proactive. It's like,
Yes.
I don't know.
And then make you tired afterwards, but yes.
Yes. Okay, yes. Our recovery from boy bands is not as good as it used to be. But, I'm sure theirs isn't either. So.
Yeah.
So before we get to the 10th, I just want to kind of set a stage here.
Of the 9th?
I was turning 40 and I had no idea what I was going to do. And then we were going to do trips and we were going to do this and things didn't happen.
Oh, you were going to buy a van at one point.
I was never going to buy a van. That was Mom's suggestion.
Mom, okay,
she's like, I need a minivan. I was like, what do I need a minivan
Why you got to trigger Cinzia on the podcast?
I don't have children.
But I know. It's okay, guys. This is like, I just got to tell you, like, Mom, she doesn't listen to this podcast anyway. But like, she has been like romanticizing this birthday party
birthday since I was like
years,
32. I'm not even 35 yet. I just turned 30. Why are you talking about my 40th?
Yeah.
So this 40th was going to be this like, whoa,
it was supposed to be like
an extravaganza. It was going to be like, it's a wedding. It should be like a wedding, since you're never getting married. So
yeah.
Thank you for that. Rico and Lydia got married and they had stuff, so we should just have a really big party for you. I was like, okay. Then it was going to be a tropical destination. We were going to go to Hawaii. There were so many things that were going to happen. And granted, some of that COVID-y times, and we're still kind of getting out of COVID-y times. So
yes,
whatever. But also like I was like, you've been hyping this up for years.
For years.
And now you got nothing. So,
yeah, it was all a farce.
Yeah. So anyways, I was like, okay, whatever. And then other plans fell through and timing and things, and you get depressed before you turn 40. And there's just lots of things happening. But anyways, circling back, I was like, you know what? Haven't had a big backyard party in a while. Like my last 2 or 3 COVID birthdays, I've had these lovely people with me.
Yeah.
And a couple of my gays. And then there you go. So I was like, you know what? Let's go back to the big party. I know it's a pain in the ass. I know you have to clean and buy food and do all this shit.
Mom gets mad.
We're gonna Mom gets mad.
Very mad.
Dad's insane. It's just like, a lot of things. But anyways, I was like,
the normalness of it all.
It's part of the process.
Yeah, that's true.
So we were originally gonna rent a hall. We were gonna get a Lydia. Lydia tried very hard to get me a boy band tribute.
Guys,
no.
I worked so I was literally trying to put together people myself.
I read her Gigi ad. Sounded a little predatory.
I know.
A little sketch.
Because I'm like, I don't want children.
I want attractive young men, 18 plus. And I was like,
not to like show your wiener, but like I just didn't want like some 16-year-old kid to be like, oh hey, it's my one ab. You're just like, I don't want to see that.
It was I personally, if I had stumbled across that ad, I probably would have reported it.
Yeah, I see the error of my ways now. If Lou, man, God bless him. I know rest in peace, my guy. But I feel like it was an easier time for him than it is for me.
Yeah, true. But A for effort.
Thank you.
So anyways, so then I was like, okay, we're gonna do a party. But then O-Town decided, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a concert in Niagara Falls.
Which is really
on
close.
the Saturday, which is only an hour from where you live. And I was like, oh, okay. Niagara Falls, New York, by the way. They still have not come back to Canada yet. But we have passports. We have ArriveCan. We're vaxxed. Everything's wonderful. We can go wherever the heck.
All the things are gone now, too. So
yes. So there you go. So feel free to travel back and forth, guys, if you're good to go. So anyways, so then we're like, okay, cool. But then I found out that they were also doing something with Chris from NSYNC. But he was not coming to the Niagara Falls one. He was going to the Philadelphia one, which was actually on my birthday on the 9th. So then I was like, okay, maybe I'll do that one. And then we won't go to Niagara Falls. And then I'll have a party on the Saturday. Sorry, it was not Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
That was it. I always get
starts with a P.
So then I was like, okay, then I can do the party on the Saturday, and that's good. But I'm like, but Pittsburgh is like 5 hours away. And if I'm staying overnight, then driving 5 hours, then setting up a party, that's not going to work either.
Yep. No,
so it was like, I'm like, I could do the
a
party on a Sunday, but who does a party on the Sunday? What am I, 5 years old? Which is part of the theme of the party. But anyways, so then I ended up like being like, I just saw Chris. I don't need to see Chris again. It's going to be more money because I'm going to want to do a VIP with Chris and all this other stuff. So I made the very difficult decision to not go there and then have the party on the 9th, which again was also a stressful decision because half of my friends are teachers and that's the first week of school.
Yep.
And the other half of my friends have children. So also the first week of school. So people will be tired and stressed out and all this other stuff. But I decided to be a selfish asshole anyways and do it. So sorry, guys.
You can't control when you were born, man.
Exactly.
You know what? Honestly, like, I gotta say,
the turnout was very good.
9th, it was, yes. But being born on September 9th as a child sucks balls because that is the first week of school. So you have not seen these kids all summer, especially because we didn't live in like a court or anything. Like,
no,
we didn't have neighborhood
children.
Highway. We lived on a very busy road. There was no neighborhood children there. We played with each other. That was it. But so like, it's not like, hey, first day of school, here's some invitations to come to a birthday party.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know you, but here.
Like, hey, you know, like I haven't seen you in 3 months. I don't know, whatever. But like, so anyway, so it was always kind of awkward, or then you would do it the week later and then whatever. So then I was like, I'm an adult now. School doesn't matter anymore. And then I was like, all of my friends are teachers and educators and other things. And I was just like, okay, I'm like, well, it is what it is.
My friend Erica's birthday is on the 13th of September, and she always was like handing out invitations like, sorry, your parents are going to hate me, but.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, first week of school, like, you're busy getting school supplies. And I'm like, hey, come to a birthday party. Like, you know.
Hi.
Anyway, so long story long, we decided we were going to do this. That's fine. So then was also busy with other things and stressful. It was a stressful week. Mom went nuts. There was whatever. Anyway, so all good in the hood. I was like, I was chill. My thing is, this is what I wanted. I wanted a bouncy castle so I could jump in it. And then I wanted cotton candy and snow cone machine because I enjoy these things and they're fun. So then that was a fiasco in itself. And then I finally found a place to rent that. So I was like, okay, good. Then I tried to rent a bouncy castle and it's very difficult to commit to spending money on something you're only going to use for a very brief period of time.
Especially if it's a lot of money.
The cheapest bouncy castle in our area that would hold adults was like $500. And I was like, do I want to waste $500 on something that my fat ass is going to be on for about 10 minutes and be like, woohoo? I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Or would I rather spend that towards the food? So then I made the mature 40 decision to spend it towards food and not spend it on that. But Lydia...
Caveat here. Caveat.
Lydia has been doing a lot of auction sites.
Auction houses. That's how I make my money, guys. Because as an actor, I don't have acting jobs all the time. So I got to do other things. So I do buy and sell.
Gotta supplement.
Yeah.
You gotta hustling hard over there.
Making the money. So she's like, hey, there's this bouncy castle on this like auction site. It's like $120. And I was like, all right. Like, I'm sure it'll be smaller than a regular one, but it said it included the blower and everything. I was like, cool, let's do this. So Lydia picks it up, brings it to my house, and I was like, this box is suspiciously tiny and very lightweight.
Yeah, I was a little.
So I opened it up. Guess what was not in this box? The blower. Guess how much a blower costs? At least $100, maybe $200. And I was like, fuck that. So Lydia's like, well, what the hell? So then she ends up like messaging back the auction house, which ended up being a nice auction house.
Like I will tell you, there are so many shit auction houses that are very sketchy people, but this is a nice one. They're called Discount Hunters. They're in Oakville. Highly recommend. Amazing guys.
So anyway, so they end up having
free plug
because we screwed you over. But anyway, so then I ended up finding on Facebook Marketplace a blower. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna buy it. I have another thing that's inflatable that I bought that I need blowers for anyways. Yeah. So I impulse buy things. I still need more blowers for that. But anyway, so I get this bouncy castle. I'm all pumped. I inflate it, and it is very tiny.
Yeah.
The dimensions could not pictured in my mind.
We're not conducive for an adult.
So it definitely.
At least the kids had fun.
Put two small children in there, and they were like popping their heads out of the top. So this is obviously for young children, like babies. But I figured I already have it anyways, whatever. And we have a trampoline, so we're good to go.
It wasn't even meant for two young children because it collapsed on.
Oh my god!
That was just a power issue.
Oh my god! Okay. Yes, that was hilarious. Okay, so anyway, so fast forward. And I'm mostly chill for this party. We had stuff, whatever. And Nana made a bunch of meatballs.
It was like a bunch of there was like weeks of planning, and then also I came over like to clean. I tried to like keep the beast at bay. By the beast, I mean mom.
Your mom?
But just so it didn't really.
She was very stressed out because I invited a lot of people, which I normally do. Trick I usually do is I wait till the last minute to invite people, so that also kind of flows the guest list as well, so you don't have to like invite a lot of people, but some people might already have plans, and then whatever, I don't know. It still ended up with like 50 people at this party. It was quite a few people. Which I felt bad because I didn't get to socialize with everyone. But people grouped off. We were good. But anyway, so we have this party set up. We have all the food. We have everything good to go. What is the point of this story? I don't know. Anyways, it was fun.
I don't know where you're going with this, but
no idea.
She had a good time.
Good time. Great.
It was
friends,
a great time.
Fun times. The girls.
Lots of good food.
We had so we had a lot of fun. The kids were friggin' sugar high as my niece who's 3 was like double fisting snow cone and cotton candy, and she did this at least 3 times, and I was like, oh god. And then
that's good. You don't have to take care of her.
So we were trying to plug in the bug zapper, so they unplugged a plug and then plugged that in, but then that unplugged the bouncy castle. So then it like deflated.
Oh no, child. Whoopsie.
It was Henry. It was fine. He was fine.
Henry?
Yeah, it was Henry.
Yeah, it was Henry because you were like, it's fine. It's one of ours.
They're already traumatized. It's fine.
He was fine. The safety feature of this bouncy castle is it had no roof, so they could switch sides. So really, there was only so many things. So anyways,
Okay.
it was fine. Oh, and I also stole a bunch of balls from my workplace and an inflatable pool. I made like a little ball pit.
By stole, she means borrowed and returned.
I did.
Yes.
We had to go to the
haunted basement.
Anyway, yeah, so we had this thing. Again, I thought that would be more fun. I feel like we needed more balls because
I think it was enough.
Not for like adults. Like we need space to actually. One of these days, I want a ballroom in my home.
I would just like to say that I went in both the ball pit and the bouncy castle. So.
Diane did. Yes.
Good job.
Very good. So anyways, we had the party. Everything's good. Whatever. Like, oh my God, cotton candy machine. It was like this thick. It looked like a geode that I had broken off. So
when you were cleaning it?
When I was cleaning it, yeah. Which apparently I didn't need to clean it because she was like, oh my God, thank you so much for cleaning it.
I told you.
I feel like if you're renting something, you should not return it looking like garbage.
But at the same time, it's not your machine. And it's a very, very, like you could have ruined it by cleaning it. Like, and also it just seemed like outside of a normal person's element of cleaning. It was very.
There was no instructions on what to do.
It was very overwhelming, and I was worried for you.
I was like, ugh. So, anyways, we had plans. So we had bought our tickets to this. Now we're getting to the O-Town Park. Okay. All right. So now we had bought our tickets for O-Town in Niagara Falls.
I didn't.
Lydia didn't. My other bestie there, Big Papa, had also bought tickets, but obviously he's also an educator, and it was the first week of school, and he was a grumpy asshole. So anyway, he ends up bailing. So our plan, we had a very vague plan because the concert was not till like 8:00. And we knew we were going to be tired from this party and we were just kind of like doing our thing. Then somehow my niece and nephew ended up not sleeping over, but coming over, and they were there. And then we're trying to clean up and we're like, I wasn't even hungover because I didn't really drink that much, but we were just like exhausted in slowing thing. And then they were in the bouncy castle because we decided we were going to return it. And so we're like, oh, use it for the last time. And then I thought it'd be fun. I had this game that I had for the children in which they were in the pool with the balls. And then it was kind of like almost like a hurricane or, oh no, it's coming at you, whatever, which obviously, this was prior to hurricane
We're
season,
also filling up boxes with balls and dumping it on them.
Right? So then, dumping them in there and they're on the bouncy. So I'm like shaking the bouncy castle because I didn't put the stakes in. But then it kind of overturned.
On Charlotte.
She was fine.
She's one of theirs.
The amount of therapy these children are going to need in their life.
No one was injured. It was fine. But anyway. So
Liam was injured.
Oh, yes. The dog. It's
oh, my gosh. It went to the hospital. Yeah.
My 7-year-old nephew got a stuffed dog and named him after my cousin's boyfriend for some reason. I don't know why.
It got stung by a bee.
Then he got stung by 4 bees and all of his paws were hurt. So then he had to go in this hospital box, which was the box that the balls came out of. It was like a whole big thing. So like whatever. So he was not helpful.
Okay.
So we're like, Diane, get in this bouncy castle. We're going to start collecting all these balls and get all this stuff.
You're like, Diane, get into the monster killer castle.
It was me or Cinzia because the kids were not being helpful.
They were not being helpful. Then Henry went to go play with the microwave. So it was just Diane and Charlotte was helping put the balls, but mostly it was Diane. Like,
oh, and then I found a surprise.
So I work at a rock radio station, 97.7 Hits FM, Soper and Brown. They like to prank each other, and they started pranking each other. You know when you have a tire and it has that little plastic knob that you take off when you would like insert air.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of gesture I'm doing. I'm sorry. I did not mean anyways, so they replaced them. The one of them pranked the other one by buying little tiny penises.
What?
That you can screw on your car. So you have like little dicks. On the car. And then a listener made like 3D printed them some. Anyway, so apparently one of them ended up in this balls because they were using it for something else.
Oh my God.
So Diane's like clearing up the balls. And did Charlotte pick it up?
No, but she was definitely in the ball pit with me, or in the bouncy castle with me.
Oh, what's
I
this?
was like, what's this? And I was going to ask her what, I was like, oh, Charlotte, what is this? Like, I don't know. And then I was like, no, Cinzia.
Oh my God.
So I was like, better take the little dick and throw it in my tits.
Oh my God. And then you found it later.
Oh my gosh.
It was really funny. So anyway, so we were trying to figure out like timing wise what we wanted to do and whatever, because we were possibly going to go shopping in the States. We were possibly going to like go out to dinner. We had like plans, but we were just like doing things. And then I had to go. Sophia and I returned the machines back to Burlington, which was like a 25-minute drive. And I get there and then the lady's not home. And I was just like, okay, well, this throws off everything because now I have to return these machines and she's not here. So then I was like, oh, let me try to get a hold of her. Oh, why would I try to get a hold of a lady from Facebook? Because Facebook blocks out all emails and things. So there's no way of getting a hold of her. So Lydia's like, just send a bunch of thumbs up and whatever. So I'm like, okay.
And it worked.
It worked.
It did work. But then we were like, she's like, what's her email address? I was like, oh. So we found her website, had just found her phone number. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because like, I had $150 deposit on these things. I'm like, I don't want to just leave these things on this lady's front porch and they get stolen.
Yeah, then you're responsible.
Then I'm responsible and I'm not getting my deposit back. So then she was all like, oh, no, we have cameras. Just leave them there. And then I'll transfer you back your deposit. I was like, beautiful. So I'm like, okay.
And you took a picture.
Took a picture, did this thing. So then Sophia and I get back. And at this point, then we're like, and then Josh wasn't feeling good.
Was that?
I think it was like 3:30.
Yes. So at this point, we're like, it's getting later. And then I had also said that we have to bring the balls back because selfish Cinzia, when I had to bring all the balls, because they came in like 10 or 12 bags of balls.
Yeah.
I had to do several trips. So I figured if we're passing by my office anyways.
Many hands make light work.
Many hands make light work. We can do it in one shot. So anyway, so then someone had some issues with this. So then they decided they weren't going to come on the trip. So because Lydia had not bought her ticket yet, we ended up buying her the ticket from him. So we're all good. So anyway, so we stopped at the dollar store. We got ourselves some glow bracelets and some signage.
That was fun.
We headed to St. Catharines, went to the office, brought the balls in. And then also, because of Soper and Brown, they had recently gone, our building
Soper and
there.
Brown.
They are the morning show on Hits.
Okay, sorry.
They're the little penis guys. Like, I don't know if they have little penises. They have the little. Wow, that came off.
Okay.
I'm assuming they have
I gotta get the mama
ones.
new
They're
title
both
to you
married.
today.
I don't.
You never know. I don't know what's going on over there.
Fun fact: they both married women named Chelsea. Different spellings.
Is that a fun fact?
I don't know. It was just weird fact.
Really
anyway,
weird.
so we get this. So they have just recently done. So the building that I work in is a historical building. It was built in the 1800s, possibly part of the Underground Railroad.
It is.
Or possibly part of Prohibition, where they were sneaking booze in and stuff. So there's like conflicting stories. It used to be like an old hospital. Apparently it's haunted. I've never had any of these experiences. The attic is creepy as fuck, but there's a basement that has like it had a tunnel that would lead to the river. But I guess when they renovated it, they closed off the tunnel, but I've never been down there.
Yeah.
So I figured, oh, well, we're down here anyways, returning these balls, and now there's a clear path because the boys had gone down. I was like, let's go down. So let me tell you, basement steps are just a giant heavy door just held up by a little tiny clip.
Yeah. And by door, she means one of those shits that you pull out of the floor.
Pull out of the floor, put it up. This tiny little latch is holding this heavy ass piece of plywood.
Yeah.
And there's no lights down there or anything. So they're all like, we're not going down there. And I was like, we're all here. Let's go down. So I convinced these guys to go down the stairs.
I loved it.
It was not as scary as I thought it would be. I was actually.
It was just hard to go down the stairs. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to go down?
Let me tell you guys. I feel like as a child, you're like, oh, sweet. Like, as an adult, I'm just like, you know what's scary? Not paying my mortgage. So me going into a dark little hole, if I die, I die.
That you did say that. She's like, if I die, I die. And Diane's like, don't fucking say that. Oh. And we're like, should we all go down, or should somebody stay up in case the door like shuts on us? And then we decided to be geniuses and all go down with one flashlight. So
yeah.
But
we're alive. We made it out.
There was some cobwebs, whatever. So anyway, so this journey took a little while to do this thing. Whatever.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
I finally got to experience that.
It was like and that was a shared experience. We all were
shared experience.
That it was a shared experience. Yeah.
I do still want to go down there one day and just put a skeleton in there because I think that would be really funny.
Hilarious.
So anyway, so then we
you would probably get scared after you put it down there, and then
I feel like you would scare yourself.
I would.
Yeah.
When we went up to the attic the week before, I jumped out to scare my coworkers, and then the rest of the day I was scared of everything, and my coworkers, and then I was just like screaming all the time. And then, And in the Hamilton office, they put this severed head. That's fucking scary.
That was scary. I don't know why you guys.
My coworkers are nuts. Radio
bit.
people were just nuts. Anyways, so now we leave, and at this point, we're like, okay, well, do we have time to go to Trader Joe's and shop in the States because we still have to get over the border? And we're like, we're cutting it kind of close to the time of the concert. So we're like, let's just go. We'll see how long the border crossing is. No line. Nope. Amazing.
Nobody was there.
So we go. We realize that the Trader Joe's is actually further than we needed to be. So we're like, okay, this place was kind of near Military Road. So we're like, okay. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go to the Olive Garden because we're almost there. Blah blah blah. So we as we're driving,
Zuppa Toscana, guys.
I see Applebee's and then I see the Olive Garden because it's right where the fashion outlets are. No.
No.
So then I was like, all right, so let's go to Olive Garden. So we get to Olive Garden. Guys, it's fucking packed, man. It is packed. So Lydia gets out. She sees a lineup of people. She's like, so she kind of goes. It ends up, it's going to be like a 35-minute wait. But the doors open at 6:30. At this point, it's 6:30 now. So we're like, does the show start at 8 or 9? Tried calling the venue. They're not answering. So we're like, I don't know. If it's going to take 35 minutes, that'll be 7 o'clock. Then we have to order the food. Then the stuff has to come. Like, if the show starts at 8, we're fucked. But if it starts at 9, like... So I guess we're like, it's kind of cutting it close. So then I'm like, you know what, let's just go to the Applebee's. And if not, we'll go to the Five Guys. So as I go out, I go to the Applebee's, but then I realize, oh shit, the Applebee's is further. This is Chili's. Parking lot is dead at Chili's, guys. Nobody gives shit about Chili's. So Lydia jumps out of the car to go check the wait. She's like, yeah, no, if there's no wait at all, we can come right in. And we're like, okay. So then we're still kind of hemming and hawing and still trying to call the venue and they're not answering. And we're like, the hell? I'm like, we could just drive to the venue because it's 3 minutes away. And they're like, no, because if we drive, we're not going to want to come back. We're like, whatever. So we're like, is Olive Garden? We'll go here. I'm like, okay, so Olive Garden's off. Then we had this debate about Olive Garden.
We're
like, maybe we could still go to Olive Garden, or like maybe
we walked in and out of Chili's at least 3 times.
And the waitress was all like, "Are you okay?" We're like, "No, we have tables for you." We're like, "Yeah, we're just trying to we really didn't want to commit to Chili's, but then we're like, you know what? We're here. We're tired. Let's just fucking go into Chili's." So that's what we determined.
I was very defeated. I'm not gonna. I don't know if it was very obvious.
It was very obvious on your face.
I was like, Zuppa Toscana, the tour.
Because then we kind of looked over towards the Olive Garden because you could see it, and it was as if more cars had now attended. It just looked like a swarm of people. I was like, "Do you want me to call Olive Garden to see the wait?" No,
it's fine.
We'll just go to Chili's.
We'll just eat Chili's.
So we're
I'm sorry, I was a bit dramatic, guys.
Lydia was very dramatic and tired.
You gotta understand, as Canadians, we don't have a lot of tasty options. We have options. We have
tasty options.
We have lots of good
We don't have Olive Garden.
We used to.
No, we don't.
The grass is always greener, I think.
I feel like if Olive Garden was here, it would be like the East Side Marios and be like, oh, fucking Olive Garden again. Right?
I don't know.
That's fair.
It's the forbidden fruits that we barely get to have.
Yes,
right?
that's true. Yes. You're right. Okay.
But if you're free, Mom wants to go across the country. So we'll pick a day.
Yeah. Sounds
okay.
great.
Anyways.
Okay.
So we walk into Chili's. Guys, this fucking restaurant is dead. There's a couple of people here. Don't even see anybody else. We're like, all right, well, at least we'll get fast service. So we sits down.
We
sits down.
We sits down.
We sits down.
It's like Borat always sits down at table.
Guys, I've not been to Chili's in a while.
Ever.
And there was a big thing back in the day because when NSYNC had Baby Back Ribs, they had these commercials for Chili's, and we were in Florida, and I kept trying to get my dad to stop at Chili's, and he refused to.
Yes, I recall this story while we were debating as well.
And we had Lydia told this story again, and we're like, okay, fine, we'll go to Chili's because.
So I think that's what did the verdict to let's go inside. It was
like redemption Chili's.
It was like, all right, this is redemption Chili's. Also, have to say I don't eat pork, so I wouldn't have eaten the baby back ribs regardless.
No. It's true.
There was a whole incident where the entire family went to this place.
Buck-a-bone? Are you still on about Buck-a-bone?
They ditched me while I was at work, and the entire family went out to have Buck-a-bone ribs, and they're like, you don't even eat pork. What? I'm like,
to this day.
The rest of the family went on an outing without me.
The restaurant
has the principle of the matter.
Yeah, that restaurant isn't even existing anymore.
No, but the Buck-a-bone is
anyway,
thorn in her side.
Literally have nothing. Anyway, so we're at Chili's. Everything's fine.
So next time, don't go anywhere without Cinzia.
Clearly. Yes. I wouldn't anyway because she's my favorite sibling.
You're my favorite sister.
Hi, buddy.
Yes. Anyway, so we're there. So Chili's has a very cheap menu on the back.
Yeah, they do.
you get like a non-alcoholic drink, an app, which is like chips, or you can upgrade to like or a salad or something. Like just like the basic thing. And then a entree with like a side for $10.99, $11.99, and $14.99.
You also got to get dessert if you wanted to upgrade to a dessert. I can't remember.
Was like cheesecake or something.
So we're like, all right, like $15. Okay, sure, let's all. And then I ended up getting like an appetizer platter, which was also $15. I'm like, so I'm like, okay, so we order the shit. We're like, okay, whatever.
Very affordable.
So at this point, our apps had just arrived. Yeah. So then we're like, okay.
No, we had eaten some of it.
We'd eaten some of the apps. How do I do
Our food was about to arrive, though.
Our food was about to arrive.
Yeah.
And
that's one. Yeah, that one.
Yes. So then we look out the window, and Diane goes, Diane, would you like to say what you
I'm dying to take it from here.
People, I don't know. I'm a very observant person. When I'm at a place, I'm looking around. Okay? And I look out the window and I see this gentleman. If you're watching on video,
this black
person with the black shirt. If you're not, there's a window and there's a gentleman who has a black shirt and a very unique hairstyle.
So we are not against the window. So there's the window.
No, we're quite a distance from the window.
And then we're in the next section.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm like, wow, that really looks like Dan from O-Town. And then
we all look to the window.
No. I'm having this thought
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Then I see a gentleman wearing a blue tank top and a hat, and I'm like, wait, that looks like Trevor. And then I look to the left, and I'm like, and that's Jacob. And then I go, guys, is that O-Town standing outside the restaurant? At which point they all look, and then they're like, yes, it is.
So Lydia's like, get out!
So Cinzia and I go out.
You can't see, but there's another guy wearing a black shirt. That's Eric. He's like closer to the street. A lady is blocking him, but he is also there.
I don't know why I'm showing with my.
And Jacob is there as well in the white shirt. Did you mention that?
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, so then Sophia and I run outside at this point. We want everybody.
Well, because we're panicking, I would just like to say, I'm thinking we can't just all run away from this table because we've ordered food and like the restaurant's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, why would they order food?
Not even dine and dash, order and dash.
So Cinzia and Sophia take off and Lydia and I decide we're going to stay at the table. And then when they come back, we'll go out.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
We're going to come back.
Then
anyway, so Sophia
didn't.
and I come out, and all of O-Town is just chatting with people, with their fans, right? So if I'm not mistaken, I think this is one of the VIPs. So I know if you pay for like the high-tiered VIP, you get to spend the whole day with O-Town.
What?
So
wow.
But there's 1, 2, 3. There's like 4. There was like 4 or 6 girls. There was at least 4 in this picture. But I feel like there was like between 4 and 6. So I don't know if some of them just showed up afterwards. But I think the top tier is only 2 people. So anyway, so they're at this restaurant with O-Town, whatever. Needless to say, did not realize they were actually inside Chili's.
They were at Chili's.
We did not see them leave.
Yeah.
We were
to be fair, the waitress told me when then Lydia ran outside and I was alone at the table
I had to.
receiving all of the food. I looked like, you know that episode of Friends where it's Phoebe's birthday and then nobody comes and then they all come and then they all order food, but then they all end up leaving and then Joey's just like alone at the table with like 6 meals.
Yes.
And the wait staff is like, sir, and he's like, well, you boys are about to see something special because he's gonna like eat all the food.
Yes.
I felt like Joey I was like, oh God, are they thinking now I'm just gonna eat all this food? Anyways, when you guys were all outside, she confirmed to me that they were in the restaurant, but they were just like sitting in a corner.
Booth.
So we just didn't notice them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Expect to see them, and we were tired. So Sophia and I get out there first. So they're all chatting, and obviously we don't want to interrupt them with their
Yes.
Well,
We're trying to be polite.
And Dan at this point is like on his phone, so he walked away, and Eric is looking for his Uber because.
But he waved at us.
So he kind of waved. He kind of turned and waved or whatever, and you could see he's like on his Uber ready on his Uber app. He's on the app waiting for it to show up. Or he had said something like, "Hey Dan, the Uber's almost here" or whatever. So I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna miss our chance." So Trevor was closest to us, so I said. Hey Trev, he's like, hey, I'm just like, sorry to bother you, but we're just trying to figure out what time you're on stage tonight. Like, is it 8 or 9? Because we're trying to figure out if we need to eat faster or not. But I figured since you guys are here, you're obviously not on stage now. And he's like, some local people are there at 8, so we don't hit the stage to 9. So you got time. Don't worry about it. I was like, okay, awesome, thank you. And then I said, oh, hey, we're from Boy Band Break.
And then I said you liked a lot of our posts on Instagram because he's very much into Instagram posts.
Yes. And then like, thanks for being on it. And then at this point, one of the girls said, oh, hey, I was next to you. I believe it's the girl in the purple shirt. Hey, I was next to you guys in Ottawa at RBC Blue Fest. And I was like, oh, for like the Backstreet Boys. She's like, yeah. We're like, oh, cool. So we were like chatting with them and chatting with Trevor. So were you there for the Trevor picture? Oh, you know what?
So then, as we were chatting with Trevor, Lydia comes bursting in and is like, "You are a beautiful man," and holds his hand.
No, I'm gonna reenact. How do I?
Okay, listen, guys.
Okay.
They were leaving, and I was like, "Diane, it's time!"
Yeah, we saw Dan and Eric leaving from the window, and we're like, "Fuck, they're just gonna leave, and we're not gonna get out there." So I was like, "Go."
So Sophia and I are just chatting with Trevor.
We're just chatting, yeah.
Had we taken a picture with just the two of us, or is it with Lydia too?
It's with Lydia as well.
Okay, so we're just chatting, like being casual, like, you know, trying not to be too awkward and be like, obviously we want a picture.
Oh, sorry, yes, we did, yes.
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 So, is this not in order then?
It's been a while, sorry.
Sorry, spoiler alert. Okay, going back. Okay, I don't know, whatever.
I thought we did.
I thought we did, but maybe we didn't. So, okay. Anyways, so Lydia bursts out the door. Like,
it was amazing. Oh my gosh.
She like has her, this is the door. I'm gonna see if I can get in the camera here. She's like, so it's like her head is just like emerging.
I had to come out immediately.
She's like, hello. And then Trevor's like, oh,
stop talking.
So we stop talking. Lydia just comes up. Lydia, you're Trevor.
Oh, okay.
So you're like, okay.
Sexy man. Okay.
Anyway, so then Lydia goes up to Trevor and goes, like, sandwiches his head.
I did.
Sandwiches.
Yes.
You are a very beautiful man. I just need to tell you that you are beautiful. And he's like, okay, thank you.
It is though. Look at that.
Oh my God. It was
on Lydia's face. Like, look at Lydia's face in this picture. She's just like, but like, oh my God, Sophia and I almost peed our pants.
It was so funny.
She's like, sandwich, you are very beautiful.
He is though. I know it's a weird thing to say to a man, but I was like,
but it was hilarious. I was like, she came out of nowhere.
Just
imagine bursting through like head first, like she's being like born from the Chili's doors, and just like, whoa, he grabbed you with the hand, like,
oh my God,
it was the funniest thing.
It was hilarious.
When this guy takes off his shirt in concert, it's a delight. Okay. It is
definitely a highlight.
Yeah, he's
a highlight
gorgeous
for
man.
Lydia,
Gorgeous
sure.
man.
If you want to go back a few episodes from our Pop 2000 tour review, there is Lydia has quite the reaction to
check Instagram. Maybe
Jacob and Trevor removing their shirts.
Yeah,
it was quite hilarious.
All right.
Yes,
anyways, I thought maybe we didn't take one with.
I think we did, but maybe you just posted it on our boy band account on Instagram.
I only saw these two guys. I didn't see Dan.
No, they already left before you got out there.
Yeah. And Cinzia was wearing her little.
Check Instagram's boy band break account. It might be there.
Did we post it on Instagram?
But guys, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, why not?
Yes. So go to BOYBAND.
BOY. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I said I. That's right. Sorry. BOYBANDBRE.
Yes, okay. We're not crazy.
See? Yes. Can you pull it up from here on your computer or no?
I could, but
okay.
So there you go. So Sophia and I got a picture with Trevor first. Then Lydia got the picture.
Then I burst into the scene.
Then she burst into the scene.
That was amazing.
And then I keep trying. I'm like, Diane.
Yes. So let me.
Oh wait, we also said hi to my God, Jacob. We said hi to Jacob.
Yeah,
that's why we have this. Yes.
So then I said, oh, hey, Jacob, because at this point now their Uber was coming because they're Uber buddies. Yeah. So then we're like, oh, okay. And I was just like, sorry, Jacob, can we get like a really quick pic with you? And Trevor's like, oh, I'll take the picture.
I'm like, and I go, get in it.
And we're like, how about you just get in the picture, Trevor? And he's like, oh, yeah, I could do that. I'm like, fucking clown. So that's how this picture came to be.
Yes.
So we're like, hey, we know we're from Boy Band Break, blah, blah, blah. So we're like chatting for a bit. So Diane, do you want to say what's going on inside?
So in the meantime, I'm now in the restaurant alone. As I have already explained, they now bring everyone's food and I am sitting there with a very large amount of food by myself. And I'm just like, all right, cool.
I'm concerned.
I see Lydia going.
I was also gesturing.
Yes, we were all gesturing.
But I'm like,
because the window was kind of tinted, so you couldn't really see. So I couldn't see if Diane could see.
I could not see you, Cinzia. I think you were in a place where I could not see you. I could only see Lydia because maybe Lydia was like closer to the glass.
I was trying to like get your attention, and I know I feel really bad for like there was like a husband and wife couple who were like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yes, because obviously they don't know she's gesturing at me.
Yeah.
So that
the waitress comes over.
So this would be this man who thinks you're gesturing at him?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the person who brought the food was not our waitress. And then the waitress comes over and she looks at me and she's like, everything okay? And I was like, yeah, everything's fine. And then she just kind of looks at me weird. And I'm like, there's just some people outside right now. So, but like everyone will be back. And she was like, who's outside? Are they like famous? And I was like, relatively. So like I try to explain who they are.
It was a one person too. She didn't.
Yes. And then I tried to explain who it was. And then she got confused and thought it was like one of the, I think she thought Trevor was the famous person.
Well, Lydia was grasping his hand.
And then
her love.
It was very clear that she had she was like 24 is my rough guess based on what she was telling me. So I'm like, yeah, you're just too young. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like you were basically born 2 years, like you were 2 years old when they like came out. So like,
that makes me feel old.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I was like, don't worry about it.
Diane.
She's like calling her coworker over, like, and then she's explaining to me how those people were in here. She's like, yeah, they were sitting over there in the corner. We didn't even know. She's calling her coworker. She's like, yeah, that guy was famous. I'm like, no, like, you're not understanding. I'm like, they're a boy band. And she's like, oh, anyways. And then after we have this conversation and Lydia's still like, you know,
I was doing like that.
The other girls were gone at this point. I think
yes,
they were.
It was literally just them three and Jacob and Trevor out there. And she goes, well, if you want to go out there, you can go. And I was like, oh, I just didn't want to like abandon the table and think that you guys would think that we had like left. And she was like, oh no, go see them. Like, I'll watch everything for you. I was like, I was really not concerned with anyone stealing our food from Chili's. I was really just concerned that like you guys would like call the cops because you thought we were like,
Yeah.
But I didn't say any of that. I was like, okay, if you're sure. So I like go outside.
So at this point, the Uber pulls up and we're like, wait, Diane is here. Can you get a quick picture with Diane? She's the other one. They're like, okay. So then,
yes.
There you go. So there's
very nice.
And I think at this point, Lydia ran inside, I guess, for the table because we didn't know what was going on there. But yes,
I had my fill of the banderies.
So anyway,
I don't really remember. I remember I came out and then Cinzia was like, "This is Diane."
I go, "This is Diane. Please take a picture with her." Like we're like,
and they're just like, "Hi, Diane," and I'm like, "Hi," and then we took a picture and then they had to leave.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny. So then that happened. So then, so then after that, so they take off. They're like, yeah, we're on at 9.
Oh, Lydia's what nice comment was like, well, now I've had enough. We can go back home now.
Oh, yeah.
Lydia's like, we don't even need to go to the concert.
Also, you didn't include how Trevor described the venue to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yes.
I said, like, dude, how big is this venue? Like, it said it only holds 550 people. It's like, 550 people if they open all the doors and everyone's standing sideways like this. He's like, because there's no way in hell that many people are going to fit in this thing. And I go, is it like super sketch? Because the Google Maps makes it look like it's part of a motel. And he's like, yeah, yes, it is. Yes. Like,
So everyone's like sardines in there.
like everyone's going to be sardines. It's going to be whatever. I'm like, you know what? You guys put on a good show regardless. And then I was like, yeah, we saw you in Kalamazoo and
Michigan.
Cinzia, and then they're like, oh yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, those were good shows. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, too bad you didn't kidnap Chris to bring him up here. And they're like, I'm like, sorry. So it was fun. So yeah, so we get back inside, and guys, I can only describe Lydia as being in a daze. Like I can't even. She was just like she was just like,
Yeah.
She just like could not do anything.
Could not process that O-Town was just there. Because was this your first time meeting? Well, I guess you met them really briefly in that photo.
Like seconds. It was
seconds. When we were in Xenia, she didn't even get to say hi to everybody. It was just a quick turn around, take pictures. So this is her first time actually meeting O-Town and actually conversing with O-Town.
Here's the thing, guys. I've never met a celebrity in the wild. Okay. So this is, I was not prepared at all for what my body experienced.
No one really is.
Like, ultimately, just you as a listener listening to this, if we described all the events leading up to us reluctantly choosing to eat at Chili's.
I was pissed. I didn't want to eat Chili's.
Expect to see any form of celebrity there in Niagara Falls, New York, at fucking Chili's.
Maybe at Olive Garden, but not at Chili's, man. Nobody wanted to be at Chili's.
No, but not even the staff.
Not even the staff wanted to be at Chili's.
But like, so as much as I was annoyed and pissed off at certain events that had happened earlier that day, there's no way that we could have planned this out any better. Like there was no, if we hadn't hesitated outside of Chili's, if we hadn't like gone to look in the basement at the thing, if we hadn't like, because we would have been at the Olive Garden. Like there's no,
if someone didn't go to the eye doctor appointment.
Somebody wasn't having a whiny thing. There's just no way that this would have worked out. That, and I may have sent those pictures immediately to him after taking the pictures of O-Town was the first thing I did.
It was meant to be.
But like, there's no way we could have timed it. Like, yes, when we were still in Canada, I was like, I wonder what's around there that they're going to have to go eat before the show. I did have that brief thought, but then I didn't, like, normally I start to like scheme and plan and be like, okay, let's see where would they eat in this thing, whatever. I would not have picked Chili's. I would not have whatever. It was just so like, it was just
you imagine
being at the right place at the right time. We didn't, when we walked into Chili's, we didn't even see them in the back corridor. We didn't see them leave. It was literally, the apps are here. Diane just happens to glance and then they're outside. Like if she had not glanced, we might not have seen them either. Right. Like, no, the timing, like
because we're like engaged in conversation at our table. We're looking at food. Like we're not typically like, who's outside the restaurant. I'm just a weird nosy person.
Yeah, that's okay. And like, like 10 minutes after they left, it was darkness outside.
Yeah.
So it was just like, if they had left 10 minutes later and were just chilling around the parking lot, we wouldn't have seen them there either. Like it made like there was no.
I would not have run into a dark parking lot for anybody.
And I'm just gonna say this, guys. When I was the night before, when I was wishing on my birthday cake for a wish, my wish was I wish for some more boy band encounters. Is what I wished.
What?
And then that happened the next day, and I was just like,
yes.
Could I not have wished for $1 million? Like son of a bitch. But anyways, no. But like. There was just like a series of events. If my niece and nephew hadn't come over, we would have gone shopping in the States. There would have been like so many other things that would have happened and this would not have happened. Yeah. So like super cool experience, super fun. And it was like a nice magical 40th birthday thing. So
and it was great to be together to celebrate.
Exactly. And then just Lydia just being like, I don't understand. What's happened? What has happened? Like it was fucking hilarious.
Like
it was
food
amazing.
Tasted better. Like everything.
Lydia's reactions to everything is very entertaining. So it was a highlight to the weekend.
Let's just go home now. There's no point. What is this? Like this is like so like it just worked out so great. So yes. So I'm just gonna do a quick. So we end up getting to this venue. There was no parking in this parking lot because again it's a motel.
We had to park at the abandoned lot across.
We had to make our own parking lot.
Like other people are parking here. I'm sure it's fine. So anyways, so super tight in there. Very like, they had like the, if we would have known, I would have bought the VIP section, which was, so the tickets for
we knew, but the VIP section sold out randomly very quickly because it only had made a decision about where, people. But I took up more, so it was like a little barricade thing. So that was maybe like 4 rows. So we were maybe like 10 rows back, maybe from the stage. But it was like a small, tiny ass venue. Like it's a bar. It was not.
Trevor was not lying about the sardine.
He was not talking. Yeah. So we eventually moved up kind of closer, but then this like tall guy came. Ironically, the Giants was on, but anyways.
Yes.
So, okay. So here's the set list that I wrote down. So it started off with, the other Pop 2K type ones we had a lot of other bands. This was just O-Town and LFO. And then whatever the local band was, but they were already gone by the time we got to them. So it was Liquid Dreams, Girl, After the Lights Go Out, What Am I Gonna Do? Then they had the first, what was that thing called? Medley. So I wrote, so again, I'm very bad at remembering the names of songs. So I'm just going to.
And I was supposed to fix it for you, and then I never did.
I totally forgot. So it was Ride With Me, Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, Finesse. I wrote Hands in the Air. I don't know what song that is.
Hands in the Air.
That's what I wrote. I put Hands in the Air ?
Okay.
Then Ride With Me, because it kind of came back.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm saying Hands in the Air, and I'm thinking Miley Cyrus, but it was not Miley Cyrus.
I know.
I don't recall.
I don't remember.
Your hands in the. I don't know. Whatever.
Wait. Didn't they do Eminem? Or is that another medley?
I think that's a different one. That's
sorry.
Yes. So then We Fit Together, and then Hello World.
Hello World.
And then Lydia's favorite part of the show was next. So this is the LFO portion. So
yes.
The shoes came out.
Did you hear?
You even turned around and was like, "There's Lydia's favorite part of the show."
I'm like, "This fucking guy again." Lydia's like, "None of the other people are here, but LFO is here." I'm sorry.
But then I was like, on the ticket it said O-Town with LFO.
I never got the ticket, so I never saw the ticket. I was just like, this guy again. This guy goes everywhere. Okay, sorry.
There's nothing.
I know, but God bless him. Yeah.
I gotta say, like, the more that I listen to, Brad's part, it grows on me more. So I do like. So it starts off. The first song is Veronica, which I had never heard before these tours. I don't remember hearing that song.
Yeah.
Every Other Time, fucking love that song. Good song. Then he talked about Rich and Devin, and then I wrote the O-Towns. I don't know why I wrote the O-Towns.
Because he called them the O-Towns, as if like
the O-Towns reached out to me, and then whatever. So like O-Town is on stage with him during these parts as well. Then he did Girl on TV. Is that when he put the shoes up to the ceiling?
Yes.
Possibly?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was like, they're gonna hit the ceiling. This is a very tiny venue. It's and then obviously finished with Summer Girls.
Yeah.
Classic. Excellent.
Yeah.
So then now it came back, and now it was.
Wait. Sorry, gotta mention really quickly. During Summer Girls, I aggressively sing it. I don't know because
she really did.
I don't know why I do this. I'm like, like I don't know why. I think because I'm angry.
Just like this set is almost done.
It's also like I would like to tell you that Lydia's wearing a mask, so it's like she thinks she has to project more through the mask.
Oh, maybe you're probably right. Yeah. I'm still a germaphobe, guys.
I was standing in front. Lydia was kind of behind. We were the only people with glow bracelets and glow sticks.
And then the lady was like, "Did you bring enough for everyone?" And I was like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so."
I had the glow sticks. The whole point was I was like, I'm going to give these out to people, and I had them on their individual strings. We had that. Then I carried them together, and then they just turned into a clump.
Yeah,
it was a clump that was not moving. So I just had like a fistful of like the thicker glow sticks. And I was just like, "Rawr," like some sort of fucking nutcake. Like I was just like,
did you put it around your neck?
No, because then I like tied it so much that it became like this knot of string. So I could kind of put it on my wrist and then hold on to, like, I was just like grabbing this and aggressively, like, like kind of like you're like, what is this thing? You're at a rock concert,
I love you, or
whatever. And I was just like, I have a
You're German.
of bracelets like a knob. So anyway,
I think Lydia and I were like singing to each other at one point because we're like, yeah, the summer girls is almost over. This part is almost over.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, Brad. It's just,
come on.
Like I've mentioned in earlier podcasts, it's just like I go to get a little tingle and my tingle gets sad. And I'm just like,
it is depressing.
It's hard to get out, and then it's hard to like come back.
It's
to like goodness.
He's honoring Rich and Devin.
I know. Oh,
and Rich
totally.
and Devin are a huge part of the band.
It's very.
I get what you're saying.
My lady penis gets confused. That's kind of my boner just deflates and then it comes back, but it's like it wasn't.
It's a nice part. Don't get us wrong. It's nice.
Okay. Yes, it's a nice part. But
it's
be
not
prepared.
Be
prepared for that. So if you should.
Yes.
And then all the people around you are like, "Oh, isn't there supposed to be some other guys?" And I was like, "Oh God, they don't know." And then he starts talking about how they all passed away from cancer, and then everyone else in the crowd is either drunk and be like, "Woo," or they get depressed.
Yes.
And they're like, because they're not listening. And so, anyways, it's still a good part. Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice.
The O-Towns for helping out there.
Thanks, O-Towns.
Thank you for bringing him on tour with you.
Quite a few people left after Brad got off stage.
I
didn't get that.
That's when we got to get closer, and I was like, okay. I was like, all right.
Thank you.
Because I'm like, how many Brad fans are here?
I don't know if it was just like a coincidence of like claustrophobia, and at that point they're like, you know what, I'm not even having a good time, they're talking about dead people, I'm just gonna leave. Like maybe but like,
or maybe they were getting, because he had mentioned that he was gonna get autographs if you bought a shirt or something.
So maybe people thought they had to go now.
Shirt. But he did say I'll be there after O-Town's set, so maybe people just wanted to get beer too. A lot of people are drinking.
A very confusing venue.
Yes.
I feel like the people there, I'm like this is like a biker bar. Like
it did have a biker bar vibe. Yes.
Yeah, it was very
bizarre. They had to move a pool table out of the way so we'd have this open dance floor because there was the lighting above. And then I was like, why are people getting closer to the wall? And then afterwards I was like, oh, because there's a pool table there.
Yeah.
And they're buying beer by this wall too, where we were. Yeah.
Yeah. And then some lady's like, can I just scoop your ice? And I'm just like, the lady's hand's been in that ice like all fucking night. And she's like, I'm like, this is like so disgusting. I'm me with my mask on. I'm like,
this is a COVID nightmare. Germs.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, germs.
If you listened to our other Pop 2000 review, you know that I was very hesitant and scared to be in the forest where the Xenia, Ohio show took place.
Yes.
I thought I was going to get eaten by bears.
Yes.
This was 10 times worse. Nightmare fuel, literally. Like,
hot as fuck. There was no airflow, even though
even just outside it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And then inside was even worse. So
yes.
It's not Niagara Falls Boulevard, guys.
I survived, but
barely.
So close to the outlets, but such a sketchy area of town. And we had to like run across like 5 lanes of traffic.
Yeah, like
in
a
the
highway.
Dark. Which is good that we had the
and then the people like on the motel balconies are like ding 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 ding. Like I don't know, that's just
they were like missing teeth. It was not a good time.
It was wild. And
anyways, back to the concert.
Okay,
so LFO's off the stage, so now they come back with another medley, and this is so they have Blinding Lights. Blinded by the light.
No.
Ooh,
I'm blinded by the light.
Okay, I'm like, what are you singing? It's that dance, that viral dance during COVID times.
And then it goes, Somebody Who Loves Me. I can't remember who sings that.
Little Nas X.
Okay. Then I wrote Mom's Spaghetti, so that's your Eminem song.
Yep.
Yes.
That's Lose Yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Somebody Who Loves Me Again, and then Harder and Harder to Breathe. Because it's getting
harder to breathe.
Which is ironic because it definitely was in that tiny ass venue.
And also, Maroon 5, awkward.
Yes. Awkward, yes. Avril Lavigne's getting canceled currently for some.
Adam Levine.
Oh, did I say Adam?
You said Avril Lavigne.
I'm sorry.
I was like, what did she do? She's fine.
Adam Levine is getting canceled for some of his DM remarks.
Yeah. Song out of the show. O-Town.
You what?
I was like, they gotta cut that song out of the show now.
Yeah, I know. Womp womp.
Whatever.
He's cheating on his supermodel wife with some lady he found on Instagram.
And then he was going to name his kid after her.
The mystery. Yeah, what is going on over
I don't
there?
know if they actually ever hooked up or anything. But...
No, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay, I didn't
Womp
follow
womp.
the whole story.
Yes, long story short, it's a funny meme. Someone's life's ruined, but it's funny.
But who wants to be a kid like, hey, how did you get your name? My dad was sleeping with somebody and thought she had a good name.
Well, obviously you wouldn't tell the child. Oh my God.
You're a celebrity kid. You're going to look yourself
Google
up,
it.
man.
Yeah, I would Google myself.
But he didn't actually name the kid that.
Well, I sincerely hope not now, because I would. Anyways, so then after that, then it was the part where the fans are on stage. So they did Skydive. So the song, not the
fans.
Skydive off the stage.
Didn't actually skydive. Right?
Then I have On the Way Down, and then Giants. And this is when a giant of a man just stood in front of me. And I was like, I cannot see. And then his buddy, I was like, these guys were like aggressively trying. We were giving space. Like we could have moved up, but I didn't want to be that person that's like, whatever. So you're just like, if there's a space, move. If not. Yeah. So I left like a bit of a space because somebody went to go get a drink. And then this like giant of a man came in. And I was like, okay, well, fine.
I couldn't
and then
tell
he started hitting me. So then I started hitting him. We were against each other for quite some time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not losing my ground here.
I don't know if he was actually enjoying it or if he was drunk.
He was definitely drunk.
Okay,
he was definitely drunk.
It's hard
his
to know
his shorter buddy was like loving life with the girlfriend. Like he was this other man like went in front of his girlfriend to be as close to the stage as possible, like because there was a barricade.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, this man obviously really loves O-Town.
Clearly.
His girlfriend seemed indifferent to O-Town, and then he's like, oh, everybody come here. I'm like, anyway, so Giants, and then this was the third section of the music medley. So it was Missy Elliott, Treat You Better, Get Your Freak On, I Need You Right Now, Don't Let Me Down. I need you right now.
That's what I need.
I need you right now.
Get Your Freak On Again. Think I'm Losing My Mind Now. And then
that's the same song.
Same. So it was kind of back and forth.
Chainsmokers.
Yes. And then Cry Me a River.
That was surprising.
Which
that's a classic one.
Doesn't realize at first and is like into it, and then everybody looks at her and she's like,
Justin Timberlake.
It's a good song, even though it's like not a good message.
No.
So then Chasing After You, then Playing with Fire and I Get a Good Feeling.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Then there was some random Buffalo chant came from the crowd at this point.
Yeah.
And then everybody was chanting it and getting I'm like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
Buffalo is a confusing place.
Was this when the audible was pulled?
I believe, yes. So let me just remind you that this venue is the stuff of my nightmares.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awful.
So
and ceiling fans, like one of them was like dead.
It was just like very slowly turning. There was like no air. It was terrible.
There was no doors that could open.
There literally wasn't even like the emergency exit was like on the other side of the stage. Like we would have had to like run over O-Town to exit. Was anyways. Yeah. And at the very beginning of the show, also let me remind you that it's O-Town, so their entire stage setup is a table with a laptop. Yep. Okay?
God bless him.
So then at the very beginning of the show, Jacob's like talking to a singular man who's like sitting in a booth over here going like, turn up mic whatever, number 3 or whatever. And so you see the guy like, not knowing what the fuck he's doing, clearly.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I think he was drunk too.
And then he was like, so then at this point, they finish a song, and then you think they're just like, doing something or whatever. But no, it's because now all of their mics are no longer on. So they're trying to communicate with this man, the singular man who's like literally clearly has no fucking clue what he's doing.
Yep.
And, Dan's like, everyone be quiet. We need to communicate with this man without a microphone. And of course, no one will shut the fuck up because it's Niagara Falls, New York. Everybody's drunk in this shithole.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, yeah. And then they start doing some random Buffalo chant. And I was like, this is where we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Because you actually heard the microphones cut out at the end. It was like,
Yeah.
like it sounded like something.
This is the first time they've ever had all their mics cut out.
And I am convinced that there was actually supposed to be more that they were going to perform.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at this point, they just made a decision that when the mics come back on, the show's over. We're going to do
All or nothing.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Which
Which is pretty much what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, we're pulling an audible, blah, blah, blah.
Please
And
explain to people what an audible is.
So
'cause I don't
Sophia and
know
I are
what
like,
that is.
okay, an audible, yeah.
Yeah,
Audible means that you are changing the plan on the fly, and this is like you're verbally changing the plan.
Lydia and I had no idea what this was.
My boss is a football guy, and I think it's a football thing. It might be
It's a
wrestling
sport
thing, too.
term.
It's a
I
sport
also was
term.
like, oh, I learned it from wrestling. So that's
Yeah.
why I was like,
No,
I knew
like,
it explained it.
You
Yeah.
have a plan, you have your plays in set, everything's good. You're like, okay, this is the play we're going to play. Then something fucks up. You're like, you know what? Audible, I'm telling you, this is what we're doing. We're changing up the plan.
Yeah.
So that's what they said. I'm pulling an audible. I was like, oh, okay. And then Diane's look of pure confusion. And I was like, why are you confused on this? This is like
I was
sports.
also
You guys, you know sports. And
I don't watch football. I'm a
don't watch
hockey
any sport.
person.
It was a
They
thing.
don't run plays in hockey.
No.
So then I like confirmed with my boss, Michael, on the thing. And I was like, yo, audible. And he's like, yeah, pulling an audible. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I learned that from you then, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, they had no idea what the hell. He's like, how do they not know what that means? I was like, I don't know.
I've
I
never,
knew.
Boss.
never
I don't
experienced
watch
it in my
football.
lifetime.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if it's specific football.
I watched.
What other sport do they run plays in, Cinzia?
I don't know. I don't know sports.
None. They don't run
Baseball.
plays. Well, in baseball, I guess they do the pitching thing, so maybe. But like in hockey, baseball, basketball, soccer, they don't run plays. It's
I
not
think-
like, okay,
yeah.
now we're going to do, they don't have a playbook of like, now we're going
Yeah.
to do play number 62. That's only it's exclusively a football thing.
I guess
All
so.
right, makes sense. Anyways, so then they do all or nothing, and then it's over. And I was like, okay.
And Lydia and I are like, oh my gosh, we were waiting for the
There
song.
were some good songs that we were waiting for.
Don't
Like,
care what you're wearing. baby.
Yeah.
yes, Lydia was so mad. Lydia was so mad.
Lydia was
His
like,
shirt on still. What the
It was
hell?
mesh. It was mesh.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I guess I saw some nipple, but still.
I definitely feel like it was hot enough in that venue that they could have taken their shirts off.
Yes, that would have been
Yes,
lovely.
because I believe Cinzia and I discussed before the show that they probably wouldn't because it was an indoor show. And then when we got in there, she turned to me and she's like, well, at least it's hot enough.
That they'll take off their shirts, but then
It would have been nice to see a little Jacob nip. That's all I'm asking
Jacob,
for.
sorry, friend.
It's okay.
well, at least you saw it at the other concert.
That's true. That was a very good time. Great time.
Yes, the Zenny, Ohio one, we got really close, so that was good times. But yes.
Yes.
Anyways, so then that was the end of it. So it's like 10:20. I was like, I don't think I've ever been to a concert that finished at 10:20.
Never.
I was like, oh,
It was supposed to be longer, guaranteed.
Yeah,
They
sure.
were just
No,
like,
'cause there
fuck
was-
this. And I
because-
don't blame them.
No,
well,
me
it's
neither.
true, and because like
We all didn't want to be there anymore.
Fair. This is
but
fair.
also like with the Pop 2K and stuff, they have like Ryan Cabrera and Chris and all these other people. So like because this was just them and technically LFO, it should have been a longer set. So
I think it was supposed to be. I'm
it was just
low
there were
key
some
convinced,
issues.
but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then it was over, whatever. So then at this point, I was just like, I kind of want to get a meet and greet. And
But
then
I would just like to say, okay, that in Michigan, in Kalamazoo, Michigan,
yes.
Cinzia was like, should we stay for the selfies? And I was like, no. I'm like, first of all, I look disgusting. It was hot as hell. I'm like, let's do it tomorrow. And so she was like, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. So we didn't stay. We left. She was trying to get Chris's attention. He just fucking took off.
Yeah.
Which is
So
great
then-
because the next day Chris was like, oh, you were there? Why didn't you try to like say hi? I was like, I was fucking waving at you, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, so then the next day in Zenio, I'm like, Cinzia, do you want to get the selfies? And she's like, no, I don't know. And I was like, Cinzia,
We are not waiting.
I don't want to wait after the show. So if we're going to get it, we're going to get it. I will wait in line right now while you are waiting in line for 2 fucking hours for this other thing that
Yeah.
there was no power in the forest. So, you know.
Yeah, we got one. Yeah.
Wow, that's 2 shows where they've had power issues. Anyways,
Yeah.
One day, O-Town will be able to be in a venue that has power.
Not the Rogers Center.
No, Scotiabank apparently couldn't handle New Kids on the Block. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, Cinzia, I will wait in line right now and we'll get these selfies. And she's like, no, I don't think I'm going to do it. I already met Chris. Everything was great. Blah, 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 blah. So then I didn't get it. And then after the show, she was like, blissfully like looking at the thing. And I was like, what?
I know. And I was like, that's fine. It's fine. Because I also knew Niagara Falls was going to happen.
We also looked like a bag of shit.
We looked like a bag of shit, and our phones were all dead. So there's no point, anyways.
So then I was like, oh, she was like, okay, Niagara Falls, we'll do it. And I was like, fine, that's an indoor venue. It's September. Why would it be super hot?
Yeah. It was. So then Lydia's like, we already met them at the restaurant. We're going.
I'm like, why would I do it again?
Why would I pay money? I got free meet and greet. I'm like, but there's 4 of them, and I only got 2 at the restaurant. So then Lydia and Sophia were like,
my justification is I already have a picture with all 4, so I'm good.
Yes. So they went to go wait in the car. We're like, we'll just wait. So Diane and I ended up waiting. And fun fact, when you have really shitty seats at a concert and the venue is crap, you don't take a lot of pictures. So then I had battery on my phone. My phone was not dead.
Wow.
I think I had like over 50%. I was like, Jesus.
Okay. My phone was also not dead. It was good.
So yeah, so we decided you have to buy a t-shirt and then you get the meet and greet for free.
$60, right?
They market it like buy this $60 t-shirt and get a free selfie, but really it's pay $60 for a selfie and get a free t-shirt. Because nobody wants the t-shirt.
No
offense. It's lovely. Look, I brought it here to show you all.
Oh, nice.
Diane got the last of that one. I ended up getting
one. Didn't. There was one more, but it was like a small or something and no one was buying it.
I got just like a random one, I think.
Yours was white, right?
Yes.
Why would you get a white shirt?
Because I didn't get it.
There was like one other one, but it was a very small
there was
size.
one that also said all or nothing at all.
Okay.
But it was like baby pink. It wasn't nice.
Yeah, it was I'm like, why are none of these V-necks? I want a V-neck, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Dan about that.
Because
they're Gildan and they're cheap. Yes, I get it.
Yeah, they're like some...
Yeah, but Gildan makes V's.
Yeah, I know, but they're more money.
I'm surprised this is not like a
I'm impressed that's in full color.
They like screen printed this on. Like, it's
actually, that's a really cute shirt, actually.
Yeah,
but I'm holding it up. It's double layered and I can see through it, guys. Yeah. Like, I can see the light shining through.
Blinded by the lights.
But anyway, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, so Diane and I are waiting in line. We're almost. In case you're wondering, the Brad from LFO is $26 for a shirt and a free meet and greet.
Is it just him on the shirt?
It is just him. And then we're there.
I don't even think it's him. It's just like some message or some shit. It's not like a picture.
Anyways, the lady's like, "Which one do you want?" We're like, "Obviously the O-Town ones." Like, because we're like,
she's like offering me like LFO ones, and I was like, no.
Although, really, it said O-Town on one side and LFO on the other. So hypothetically, we could have got it and then flipped it over, which we did. We're not going to do that, obviously, but tip for anyone in the future. Anyway, so we ended up going. So we're waiting in line, and we ran into this girl who had never met them before. She was very nervous and stuff. She's a baker. We told her to listen to the podcast. So anyways, we're like just kind of like waiting and stuff.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro?
Am I too far away from the microphone?
You're leaning back and I can't hear you.
We ran into a girl who had never met O-Town before, and she's a baker, and she says she listens to podcasts. We're like, excellent, here's a podcast for you to listen to.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of like hanging out with her and talking and stuff. She was a Justin Timberlake fan, so really.
Ew.
Anyway, so we're all fun. So we're waiting. So then they had us line up by the stage, and then they realized they can't take the pictures there. They were going to so they had to kind of like weirdly snake us around this tiny little opening, which O-Town had to walk through. So then
I believe I didn't notice they were coming, and literally Trevor like crashed into me like, can you move? And I was like, oh fuck. And I'm like, what?
Just like they're there, right? Because there's just this tiny ass backstage.
Very tiny venue.
It was very fun. Anyway, so they're coming back. And then Eric's like, hey, from the restaurant. And we're like, hey. And then he like, which was hilarious because we spoke with him.
We just waved. These like hi and waved.
I wasn't even outside.
Diane wasn't even. It was pretty funny. So we're like, and then the girl was like, "Oh my god, have you like met them?" And then she saw her Nick Carter pictures and stuff. We're like, like, oh, I'm not like a boy band expert. I was like, oh, that's how we got him. Like, well, if you'd like to know more about boy bands, we got a podcast.
We are boy band experts.
So it was pretty funny. So we did the thing. We get up there, and then I went first.
Yes.
So then I was just like, I don't know if we're allowed to hug, but I'm going to go in for hugs, man. I was like, birthday hug.
Yeah, some people were not hugging, and I was like,
you're like, bitch, I paid like,
to be fair, post-COVID, people weren't.
Yeah, I understand.
True.
So maybe
I was
that's
like,
why.
whatever, going in for it. They can't say no if I come out, arms outstretched, did all that. And then, whatever. And then we were just like, took the picture, and then they're like, hey, I'm like, see, we paid for this one. We came back and we paid, so we're good. And they're like, And then Eric was all like, you have a nice dinner at Chili's? And the lady said, holy shit, I almost peed my pants. It was like the funniest thing ever.
Oh my god.
It was great seeing you at Chili's.
I really enjoyed my meal at Chili's.
That was like, oh my god, I was dying.
Oh my god.
Dying.
That's
so
so funny.
Came up.
See, he wanted Olive Garden too.
Yes, so
maybe the townies can answer my question. I thought back like in 2020 or 2021 when we did all those things that Eric said he was a vegan. And I'm like, how can you eat at Chili's when you're a vegan? I'm pretty sure every fucking thing either has meat or cheese in it.
Maybe a salad? I don't know. That's a great question.
So let me know if he just like decided to just maybe go vegetarian. Like, I don't know. But I was like, how did he eat there?
I have no idea. Maybe
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Unless he just didn't eat. He was like, I'll have water.
I'll just
and this free chips and salsa. Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's chips and salsa. Okay, what are you doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
Okay,
sorry, I'm just trying to get to my picture.
Sorry, okay.
I don't have Diane's because she didn't send it to me, but here is.
Thanks a lot, Diane.
It's
go
on
to your Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, she opened
Rude
it.
ass.
I know, right?
It's on Diane's Instagram.
Yeah.
Also, I'm salty because Cinzia's photo is like a vertical photo, and mine is like a horizontal photo, and it didn't fit.
Horizontal.
It's not. I can see their legs in yours.
I don't know. Maybe
they got nice legs.
Did I stop sharing? Where are you?
She's on the left. Oh wait. Okay. Oh yeah.
You said it's on Diane's Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh,
cute.
Okay, so
see how mine's like super wide?
Yours is super wide. Yes.
Tab.
And I would just like to say that Eric was taking these pictures himself, like selfie mode, and he was very proud. He was like, wow, that's a good picture. And I was like, okay, thanks.
Oh, there's me in the background. I didn't
you go.
There's me taking a picture of Diane in the background.
You're photobombing and you didn't even know.
Wow.
And then I ran back because I forgot to tell them that the other girl was her first time meeting them. So then I like ran back to tell them, and she's like, Diane's like, Cinzia's just not leaving. It was just...
No, you ran back to tell them to come to Canada. I'm pretty sure you told them before because you were like, not the next girl, but the girl after hasn't met you before.
Yes. But yeah, so Diane's like, I'm trying to come, but Cinzia's just not leaving. And I was like, man, whatever it is.
No, yes, that's what I said because I walked up to Dan and he was like ready for hugs, and I was like, Cinzia started the pattern. Way to go. And then I said to him, I'm like, she just won't leave. And he was like, it's fine. Just like talk to the rest of the guys. And I was like, okay. So then who's next? Oh, next is Trevor. And he was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I remember you from earlier. Blah, blah, blah. Trevor always like lingers and is, from the first time I met this man in 2001, I will never forget that he was the last one in the line. And I went to hug him, and then he like wasn't letting go. And I was like, and the security guard was screaming at him. And he was like, no, we're just going to keep hugging. And I was like, okay, this is weird.
So you're saying I should have paid the $50. Damn it. Oh, and next time.
honestly, well,
They make it worth your while. I'll say that.
Yeah. They're like, honestly, especially compared to some other boy band movies this year.
Sorry, guys.
Very good. Very like spends time with you. It's worth it. They're great value, and I just really enjoy.
What do you always say about Howie when we pay for Howie?
Howie bargain backstreet.
So this is go bargain O-Town.
O-Town is great, guys. Like, do not sleep on O-Town.
O-Town is fantastic. Yes, absolutely.
Listen, I'll say this.
Bargain boy band.
To wrap up the episode because
yes, we're getting some time. Yes.
What other boy band are you going to run into at Chili's?
No other one but O-Town.
You ain't running into Backstreet Boys at Chili's. No. You ain't running into New Kids on the Block at Chili's.
New Kids on the Block is more of a Waffle House kind of.
Yeah.
But that's like a
because of Donnie Glover.
Yeah.
Like know they're going to be there.
Yeah,
it's not going to be an accident.
No, that's
like,
right.
Honestly, just like series of events that just happened. So it's like, you know beautiful. What? Just be open and just go with the flow, guys, because you never know what boy band is going to be at your local restaurant.
They're not going to be at Chili's, only O-Town. This is why you have to give my point is this is why you have to give them a chance.
Yes,
that's right.
Because
they're lovely men. Gorgeous.
They're very good.
They put a lot of their time, dedication, hard work. They're great, and they're plugging along and doing great. So
that's right.
You O-Town, we love you, and we cannot.
Thanks for all the great experiences.
And you don't need to be vaccinating anymore to come to Canada, nor do you need to fill out an ArriveCam app. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah. You know what a good way to end the episode.
Yes. So yes.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.